Clay, you're an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. And as they say in Stoic, the obstacle is the way. And so if you let these pinheads get in your way, you're in trouble. Acta non verba is the motto of the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy at Kings Point, New York. I had appointments to Naval Academy and Kings Point Merchant Marine Academy. And Merchant Marine Academy's motto was acta non verba. In other words, don't listen to what a person says. Watch what they do. Clay, my honor to be on your show. And thank you for all you do. I hear the ripple effects from you are good ripple effects. You know what I mean? People rave about what they learned from you. So congratulations.
My name is Kevin Thomas, and the name of our company is MultiClean. We are a commercial janitorial service, and we serve the entire state of Oklahoma and Kansas and soon to be Arkansas. We have probably grown probably 5 times. We've added, I think when we first started with you, we had 60 to 65 employees. And now we have a little over 300 employees. Before we got involved with Thrive Time, we didn't really have any systems or processes in place. So I've probably been to, in 6-7 years, I've probably been to 12 to 13 business conferences. And amazingly, each time I go, I learn something new, and I'm so excited to bring it back and show the team about marketing and how to implement, how to help you guys implement the SEO. And the coaching is just great because there's accountability, and it's just a fantastic way to grow your company. Having a relationship with Thrive Time it's just been amazing for MultiClean. Oh my goodness, it frees me up because then I don't have to take a class on search engine optimization or learn marketing or shoot video. That's not what we do. What we do is commercial janitorial service. And you guys are the experts on marketing, and you teach me and hold my hand and show me how to do it right. And therefore, now my company is much, much larger.
Folks, on today's show, we're joined by a real client. He may look like a male model. He may look like a hologram, but he's a real person. He's a longtime client. He's a man that we consider to be a friend of the Thrive Time Show and a friend of mine. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Kevin. Welcome on to the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
Clay, I'm doing great. Had a great Christmas holiday, and I'm glad to be here.
Okay, so first question, can you tell us what is your name, first and last name, and what's the name of your company, sir?
My name is Kevin Thomas, and the name of our company is MultiClean. We are a commercial janitorial service, and we serve the entire state of Oklahoma and Kansas and soon to be Arkansas.
And how long have we worked with you approximately at this point, sir?
It's been about 6-7 years.
Well, what time is it? It's business time.
Yeah.
Business time. Once a week, we talk to Clay Clark about building businesses and about making our lives better. We want to make America great. Americans have to do great, and we need good ideas in order to do that. We look forward to this segment more than probably about anything else we do because it's so high energy. And
hopeful.
Even if you don't want to learn something, you just might. He's going to put you in a mental headlock and stick a piece of good information right in your ear hole. He's the author of How to Build a Successful Business, one and only from the Thrive Time Show, Clay Clark. Woo!
Oh, yes. Yes. By the way, big shout out to the Flock of Seagulls. That song, It's Business Time, is a truly incredible song. If you haven't heard that song,
it's a great song
for you. But guys, on today's show, we're talking about habitual success. Habitual success, or maybe another way to look at it is what gets scheduled gets done. And I want to encourage everybody, before we play this little clip of a success story, I want to just encourage everybody right now. If you go to thrivetimeshow.com, thrivetimeshow.com, we're going to Anaheim, California on December 4th and 5th. December 4th and 5th, that's the month of Christmas. December 4th and 5th in Anaheim, California. Eric Trump, myself, you're going to have Mel K in the house. Julie Green will be there. Amanda Grace will be there. You guys will be there. It's going to be a blasty blast. And the reason why we do these business workshops as we start at 7 in the morning and we go till 5, and we teach you time management, marketing, sales, finance, accounting, social media marketing, search engine optimization, workflow design, every aspect of starting and growing a successful company, how to find good employees, how to find good customers, how to make money, how to make a pro forma, everything you need to know to start and grow a successful company. But if you don't learn how to have habitual success, if you take everything we teach you at the conference and you don't know how to schedule time to make your success happen, it's not going to happen. And I could not be more fired up about today's show. And we have a clip I sent your producer of a listener who came to our conference. Dave, she pulls me aside at the conference. Tim Tebow was there. And she said, hey, God's been working on me. And I'm not saying that because I'm not God and I'm not prophetic, but she said, God's been working on me. And he's been telling me that I shouldn't go into debt, but that I should hire you to help me grow my company. She said, if we hired you to grow our Christian counseling company, what do you think? What's a realistic expectation for how long it would take to double my business? And I said, well, given upon what I know and just meeting you and certain things, probably 18 months we could double your company. Well, she increased the size of her company by 6 times in 7 months.
Oh,
6
wow.
times in 7 months. And at the last conference, she came up to me. Eric Trump's there. So many people are coming up saying, I love the event. Dave, people are coming up thanking us for the event. She comes up and she said in a nice way, hey, I didn't get a chance to share my story, my success story, and I really wanted to share that with your audience. Could I come on your show and share it? Because I know you had so many success stories here, and I just wanted people to be encouraged. And so this is a really fabulous story, and I just want everyone to know this lady grew her company 6 times in 7 months, and she's a diligent doer, and she'd been in business for 11 years before she met us and was always stuck at the same number. And in 7 months, 6 times.
Wow.
6 times growth.
Wow.
So fabulous story. So here we go.
Let's check it out.
I know that when I came to you, it was just me and the person who answers my phone. Now there's 6 of us, and I just hired another one that's going to open a new location not too far from us. And so I think the increase has been about probably 60 new client load since I brought you on. I've been doing counseling since 2008, but in my practice, it's been 10 years this past January. So I'm approaching 11 years January 2nd. And I started looking at all of your business videos. And then I started really watching your business videos and paying attention to those others that you were given. They had testimonials. So that's where I learned about you. And I decided to come to March 2025 business conference and kind of step up and be a little bit more brave and ask for help. Well, I have always been a person that I want to be a good steward of what God's given me. And so I know I don't want to take out a loan for my business. But when I took the faith to come to the business conference and took the courage to come up and ask you if you'd be willing to help me, I'm trusting with the Lord. It's God's economy that's taking care of it. Nothing makes sense right now. It's just amazing. And so I would say jump in. I have no regrets, right? And it's been amazing. I never would have dreamed that just in no matter what, 7 months, that I went from just one therapist to 6, hiring another.
Look at that,
and getting ready
folks.
to
So again, this is a real person out there doing it, very normal. And we had so many success stories, Dave, that 4 people came up to me at the event and they said, hey, I didn't get a chance to share my story, and I put it on as a goal of mine was to become a success story at the next conference, and I did it. Could I get on the show and maybe talk about it? So I recorded last Sunday 4 testimonial videos, and I have 2 more to record today because success is happening, and Dave, the people are implementing what they're learning. It could not be more exciting.
Wow. Well, and we love that. We want that to happen. That's why we do this segment with you each week. I don't know if people, wonder how this stuff unfolds, but you're not like a paid sponsor. This isn't a thing. We're actually interested in this. We go to the business conference. It's something we're excited about. And we didn't plan in life having a podcast and a platform and being able to share stuff. But it's like, okay, what would be the things we would want to know the most? And that's how we pick out guests. That's why we choose, these relationships. That's why we put this every single week, because I want people that are out there that are thinking, oh, well, I don't own a muffler shop, or I don't own a pet bug spray company. I have a counseling business, and how can somebody help me? I want everybody out there to realize that there is a systematic plan to do better.
Yeah.
And if you're out there and you're struggling and you're hoping somebody in Washington fixes it or things get better or you get lucky or you become one of those people, it's not about that. It's about a proven plan. And I love doing these with you every week because these testimonies encourage and excite me.
And you can take this information you're given and apply it to your business, which is obviously going to help you make a lot of money. But you can apply this to anything.
To your job?
When we started this year, my wife and I sat down, we looked at the calendar, looked at the year, and we're like, what are some like big things we've talked about for a long time, we've wanted to do, but we haven't actually gotten done? And we put some things on the list. I was like, I want to take a cruise to the Bahamas. Like I've always talked to her about the Bahamas. She's never been. I was like, let's do that. Let's make that a priority this year. There's this like castle. It's an abandoned castle in the middle of Missouri. And I was like, it's kind of dilapidated and broken. And I'm like, that'd be so cool to go see that sometime. But if you have these things on your like, that'd be cool to do someday, it kind of never happens until you become intentional about it. And just from listening to you and being intentional and like following the stuff you're talking about today, I look back at the year in reverse, man. I'm like, we've done that. We went to South Dakota.
You're doing your marathon tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning, I'm running a marathon, and all this just took like intentionality, focus, and none of these things made me like additional income, but it made my life additionally better. And that whether you have a business or you just want a better life, these same habits, these same things that create habitual success, no matter what you do, apply to everything.
Got scheduled.
Got scheduled.
Well, so we're going to get into these 3 steps you can take today, but I want to echo what Colton just said. This is a really long-winded story, but I promise it has a point about being intentional. My wife's best friend, Sharita, big shout out to Sharita, okay? Sharita, Dave, she discovered that I mixed music. So I'm in college, I'm a DJ, and she knows I can mix music. And cheerleaders need cheer music to be mixed.
Yep.
So she starts the rumor, this guy makes hot mixes, you could pay this guy. And I'm going, no, I don't want to be the cheer mix guy. So next thing you know, I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. Every single night there are cheer moms at my house mixing music with me till 10 o'clock at night because they all wanted cheer mixes. And I'm getting paid like $50 an hour, which makes no sense because the business was big. I had no time. And I'm sitting there mixing cheer music. And Shrita kept saying, you got to mix Big Head into one of our mixes. I go, Big Head? That's the worst song ever. That Timbaland song called Big Head. It's a regrettable track. That's a deep cut. Nobody cares about Big Head, Shrita. She says, you will put it in a mix. And so it became this thing. And so I said to myself, one day I'm going to write a remix to Big Head and send it to Shrita. Well, that was like 25 years ago, Cole. So I'm going through my journal of things, and I'm like, it has to happen. So I'm almost done with the Big Head remix. I'm finishing it today.
Are you serious?
I'm
25
serious.
years later. That is so cool.
And it's a thing where like I can't wait. She now lives in Spain. Her son is like a semi-pro soccer player. They live over there. And in the video, I was able to find old school dunk videos from some of my DJs who are Oral Roberts University Division I basketball players. And because that was really relevant, because my wife hung out with Sharita. She was a cheerleader. A lot of my employees were basketball players. So I took all this archive footage, and you're going to love it, Colton. There's a 6'5" man that dunks over people. It's like dunk videos and old videos. And
I love it.
Massive dance parties I used to organize. It's all this in one thing. It's called Big Head. And it doesn't make a lot of sense for the average person, but for my family, they're like, Dad's doing the Big Head remix. It's going to be hot. So it's just big of a big thing, and it's been scheduled, and I'm doing it. I should finish it today. And even though that doesn't make any money, it's exciting for our family, and because it's something you schedule. Tomorrow, my wife and I were going to go look at getting some cows. These Highlander cows. They're cows found in
Justin Bieber looking
Those
cows.
are so cute.
Right. And so I'm driving out tomorrow to see some of them. I got to put up a fence, and there's a whole thing, but that doesn't make me money, but wouldn't it be cool to have Bieber-looking cows?
Oh, it would be so cool.
I think you should call it Bieber.
They actually have those on posters because they are so cute. You know, you like go into Hobby Lobby or whatever, and you can see these cows.
See?
That's what you need.
Really
You got to name him Bieber.
So tomorrow I'm driving out to look at buying some Highland cows. This is the big goals we have, the Bieber cows. So I'm just saying is, you're going, are you serious? Is that what you're doing with yourself? Yes, that's what I like to do, and it requires intentionality. And you have to be able to make financial success.
Yep.
You have to achieve financial success to be able to afford to do these other areas. So if you're watching today's show and you're stuck and you want to buy Highland cows, and you want to write the Big Head remix, and you want to go to the Bahamas, you want to run your marathon, dial in. Here we go. So pro tip number one.
It's everything. We went to register Colton for he had to get his packet and his bib number or whatever at the downtown Kansas City for the marathon. We're coming back. He has some friends visiting that used to live here. They live in Arizona now. They came back to visit, and he was telling me like they were coming. And he knew for a few weeks. He's like, oh, I got to get the guest room done. There's a drain there that doesn't go, and the toilet runs. I got things to fix. All that had been happening for a long time, but all of a sudden his friends were coming. His wife gave him this to-do list. Michaela came and she goes, hey, these things got to get done by here.
Knock, knock, knock.
And so it's like,
hey, marathon boy, time to get some stuff done.
All of a sudden it got scheduled because there was a deadline and it had to happen.
That's urgency.
This is how we work, but a lot of times people don't apply it to their business.
Yep.
They don't apply it. They're just like, well, things just kind of go how they go. They kind of go how they get scheduled.
That's right.
Amen to that. So pro tip number 1, coming in hot from our good friend who couldn't be on the show because he's dead, Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn once said, motivation is what gets you started, but habit is what keeps you going. Motivation is what gets you started, but habit is what keeps you going. So back to our success story. This wonderful client, she's a Christian therapist. I said, we need to schedule time in your schedule every single week to do the following 5 things. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give away the secrets, the trade secrets. Here we go. By the way, when you buy a franchise, essentially you're just buying what I'm telling you right now. It's a system, okay? So 1, as I said, you have to get video testimonials. If you were a counselor for somebody and they love what the work you did for them, they don't need to hop on and say what you did for their family, but just having people say, she is a solid therapist. You can trust her. I'm a Christian. She's a Christian. It was a great experience. Learned a lot about God, and we learned a lot about our family. What a great experience. You need to get video testimonials. 2, you got to get images. You got to get pictures of you looking your best, not looking stressed. What am I saying? Pictures of you looking your best, not looking stressed. What am I saying? You looking your best, not looking stressed. Because what happens is a lot of times people they're not intentional about headshots or photos in their office or with clients. Get it? So VIS, search engine content. We need to write 1,000 words of content a day, every day. We have a new client we just started working with in Minnesota. They're a limousine company. And if these homeboys will write 700 1,000-word pages of content and get 700 objective reviews and 70 video testimonials, so 700 articles, 700 reviews, 70 videos.
I love all those 7s.
You just got it. It's just the math we did on there. It's on their agenda, but just the math. So again, VISM, 70 video testimonials, 70 images, 700 search engine articles, and 700 more Google reviews. So VISM, videos, images, search engine, more Google reviews. If they do that, if they just get those numbers, it's a mathematical certainty.
Yeah.
They will come up in the top of the search engine results in a massive city called Minneapolis.
Come on.
And I
Wow.
continue. VISMD, Dream 100. If they cold call, and I know this because I used to do this, I used to work with a limousine company. What you do is one of my clients was a limousine company before he sold it. You just cold call. Boop, 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 boop. Hi, such and such hotel. We offer a great limousine service, and we would love to earn your business. Anytime you have a VIP or a celebrity or somebody who needs a limo, we want to beat anyone's price and offer better service. We want to earn your business.
Yeah.
And I know you're not sitting around waiting for our call, and I know that there's a lot of downside in recommending somebody. So we would like to start by offering free limo service to your staff. To you
Wow.
for a date tonight or a date tomorrow or a trip to the airport. Come on, please. And if they just will get into that rhythm of every week, we're going to make, let's do it again, 70 video testimonials total. So you say every week I'm going to get 7.
Yep.
7 video testimonials a week. Okay, images. I'm going to get 7 a week. Okay.
1 a day.
The search engine. I'm going to do 1 a day. Okay. And you go, but Clay, that would take 700 days. Okay. So let's do 4 a day. But you need to schedule it.
Yep.
And once you schedule it, now you know that you're going down the path that will lead you to success. So that's why whenever I have a young man or young woman that is shadowing me, Colton, you know Andrew and some of the members of the team.
Oh, yeah.
When they say, I want to become a consultant, I remember talking to Andrew and I'm going, if you will do A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, you will make more money than most doctors.
Yeah.
And it's just a mathematical certainty, but I can't, as a company, send my wonderful clients to you unless you know all of these skills. So we have to schedule time for you to become a master at marketing, management, and mentorship. And so
good.
I'm just telling you, if you're watching today's show, if you are the client in Minnesota and you're watching today's show, you have to schedule time for what you need to do. So as an example, right now we're on this great podcast, and I'm so honored to be here mentally and physically with everybody watching, but I'm not somewhere else. I'm not on my phone. I'm not on my email. I'm not mentally drifting. I'm not playing solitaire. I am looking at my notes, but a lot of people are not ever blocking out time for what matters. So tonight, a longtime client of mine, he's retiring, Dr. Morrow. Big shout out to Dr. Morrow. He's been a client of mine for 10 years. Great guy. He's retiring tonight. I'm going to his retirement party. I don't go to parties. but I am going to Morrow's retirement party because he means a lot to me. I committed emotionally and mentally to being there, and we're going to go. And it's a Hawaiian theme, and I'll dress like this with a Hawaiian hat. But that's what's happening. So all I'm saying is you got to schedule time for what matters. So, and I want to get your thoughts on this, Stacey.
Real quick, Clay, question for you on this. So, I mean, maybe you don't know the exact stat, but like roughly what percentage of people make decisions of what they're going to be purchasing, buying, acting upon based on Google? Because you mentioned Google quite a few times there, Visms, that's all Google related. Are you like sponsored by Google? Is this brought to you? Like, do you love Google? Do you bleed?
No.
If I cut you open, does it bleed Google?
Question. It's a great question. I'll just say this. Every client we work with has a different path.
Yeah.
And so if you listen to our shows and you're around in a lot of them, you might perceive a certain thing. But so like one of our clients, Will-Con, that's his website, Will-Con, it's Williams Contracting. He never sells to anybody via Google because he builds schools and prisons, which is interesting. He builds both schools and prisons.
Similar mindset.
That is very interesting.
His whole business is Dream 100 calls. So he's calling state governments and try to get that deal. But for consumer products, most consumers go to Google to buy things. And I don't want to make up a stat, but I would say a little over 9 out of 10 people prefer to use Google when searching for things. And so there's Williams, yeah. So you would be irrelevant for limousine ride, people that are needing a limousine. You'd be irrelevant to your target audience and your ideal and likely buyers if you're not dominant on the search engines.
Yep.
But also, if the hotels don't have you on the recommendation list, because I will tell you how this works. I used to work with a hotel called the Mayo Hotel. And when Justin Bieber stayed there, or when Lady Gaga stayed there, or insert the name when they stayed there, we wanted to make sure that we had a great experience at the rooftop hotel. And we wanted to make sure that all the big managers who manage the Bank of Oklahoma Center, that they all knew that this brand new hotel existed. And so you've got to make sure that your ideal and likely buyer knows you exist. And once you get that pipeline going, big celebrity goes to the Bank of Oklahoma Center to perform, and they've got a list of recommended vendors, recommended limos, recommended hotels, and then they talk to the managers, and that's how that happens. So it's like the VISMD.
Yeah.
That's the path for this guy, VISMD. I was going to ask you, Stacey, Mom, got a lot going on. Your kids are obviously older now, but when they were younger, and now you have a podcast, how do you say no to things? Because I'm just told everybody what to do, but I would argue the busiest people in the world are moms.
That is really true. I really do think, like you say, Clay, writing everything down, having a schedule. And so then when you know, hey, these things are on my list, this is what I have time for, then it's really easy when something else tries to come in. You're like, I just don't have time for that. I can't do that at this point. So writing it down, scheduling it, and then it makes it very easy to say yes or no. One thing I'd also say as a family is that the family really should be the center of what's important. I remember, David and I, we started a business when we were in our early 20s. And I would try to accommodate everyone. They would call and maybe we had something going on as a family. And I would be like, yeah, but I can fit this in. David, you take care of the kids here and I'll go do this. And I remember him saying one time to me, he said, Stacey, he said, our family will always be here. Those people next year, 2 years, 3 years down the road, you may never talk to them again. So he's like, you really need to see what is the most important, and then that's where you put your focus. And I tell you, that's been life-changing for me because he was exactly right. Family's always there, but, those people, they're not there anymore.
20 years later, still here.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
I hope everybody's getting this here. What we're talking about is having habitual success, way past motivation. We're talking about activation. We're talking about compensation. We're talking about doing it. Pro tip number 2, Jim Rohn says, don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better.
It's my favorite.
That's the best.
And
best quote ever.
So this is what I find. And this is not a passive aggressive statement to my staff who may or may not hear this show, but this is real. I see people that are very good communicators, and that works to a certain extent, right?
Yep.
We had one lady who used to work in my office about 10, 15 years ago, and she had done like the homecoming queen thing, and she had done like the model thing, and she had done the thing, and she's a great communicator. And so she, like a hot knife through butter, had just had success. But when it came to like writing search engine content or editing videos or technical like accounting or bookkeeping, she was like, I just don't do that. I'm more of a vision person. I'm like, well, it turns out your client thinks that too. client thinks I'm more of a vision guy. I'm more of a car wash visionary. I'm a dog training visionary. I'm the next, whatever I am. I'm going to be the, people, because entrepreneurs want to be, I want to delegate to elevate. Woo! By the way, everybody, if you're watching this, everybody believes that my highest and best use is my vision, man. My vision. Baby, I'm a vision guy. I'm not a detailed person. I'm a vision. Or you'll get a guy who's really good at technical stuff. And they'll tell me, Clay, I don't do people. I don't do people. You say you don't do people. I don't do people. People in my life right now, I don't do people. What do you do? I like to wear earbuds and primarily avoid eye contact with people, and I just want to do that. But then these same people will come to me and they'll go, how come I'm not getting promoted? And you're like, because you wear earbuds and you hide from people.
Yeah.
Well, why am I not getting promoted? Because you refuse to discipline your mind to learn these skill sets needed to grow companies.
Wow.
So you have to do both. And again, Jim Rohn says, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. And once you grasp that idea, that's fun. That's fun. Once you say, you know what? I've got a Christian counseling company and it's not working and I want to grow that thing. Now, someone says, do you only work with services? Another example, shawhomes.com, full disclosure, they sold the business. So if you go to Google and you type in Shaw Homes, I think you'll find that they sold the company, according to Google. But Shaw Homes, they reached out to me and they said, hey, we build houses and we're stuck at $14 million a year. And how much do you charge? And I said, $1,700 a month. And they're going, that's less money than we pay every single member of our team.
Right.
How much? I said, $1,700, 1700 total. Oh yeah. And a lot of clients, they pay us a small percentage of the growth if it's a win-win, whatever. And so they said, well, let's hire you. We grew Shaw Homes from Shaw Homes have been in business for 30 years, mind you. So I want to be very clear about this story. I was 3 years old when Shaw Homes was started.
Wow.
So they started the company. I was 3. Okay. So they're hiring me.
The first houses they built are now being remodeled.
There it is. They're hiring me and I'm 33 and I'm 33. They're hiring me. They've been around for 30 years. And they go, you know what? For $1,700, it's month to month. Why would we not? I mean, you guys do photography and video and web and search engine. And we've met your team. We've been to your conference. We've met your staff. Why not? And so it was a math decision with those guys. They're going, we literally pay every single member of our creative team more money than $1,700 a month. So we're just going to let those guys go and replace the entire creative department with your team for $1,700. And we grew them to $141 million.
Wow.
In just under 5 years.
Wow.
And you go, how did you do it? We made a plan and we scheduled that plan. And what was so great about Aaron Antis, who was the point man for that account, is Dave, he would come into every meeting with the heart posture of, hey, what can I do better? And we would track the numbers, and we never had to argue about, it was never a justification. It was never a passive-aggressive argument. It was, hey, what can we do better? And so we were able to hone in on the open house process. We honed in on the sales process. We honed in on the sales calls. We honed in on the model homes. We honed in on the artwork. We honed in on the way we did everything. And we were able to grow. Again, they were stuck, folks, for 30 years. They had never cracked 14 million. And we got them up to 100. I mean, and wow. So
That's
again,
remarkable.
If you're watching the show, it is remarkable. And if you're watching today's show, I just encourage you, go to thrivetimeshow.com, look at the testimonials. Colton, don't you think you could watch testimonials until you black out? I mean, couldn't you just hit play and then watch? I mean, there's thousands
over and
of them.
over and over again, and you could do it all day long with these testimonials, and it's fun to do, and it's every different kind of business. I enjoy it. Like we're obviously 100% on Flyover right now. This is the thing. This is what we do. But I regularly go on there, and I'm like, well, that'd be kind of fun. Like even listening to these guys and what they're doing, like a carpet cleaning business. This guy's got a music academy, D&D custom, and you go on and you watch their stories and you see what they're doing. I'm easily sellable. I'm like, I should do that. That'd be a fun business to do. I'm like,
Crush that.
I would crush that. That'd be fun. Green Line Plumbing. I want to fix toilets. Let's go. Like I'm in.
He just did for free.
Yeah, I did for free. But it's fun to watch these and just to go on and to see the different people, because there's somebody that looks like you, there's somebody that talks like you, there's somebody with your similar background that is making significant income from just following a simple system.
Yeah.
The VISM D, whatever your path is to success. Clay lays it out, and I've sat with you on some of these coaching calls. I'm shadowing you, and I'm trying to learn from you. I'm taking notes on the stuff, and you've sat and you do these 13-point assessments, and I'm sitting, I'm listening, and people are like, I have a camper business, like an RV park, and I'm like, oh, that's a weird one. I don't know if Clay's gonna have a system for that. And you're like, oh, do you know this thing and this guy? And you're like, like the perfect person in their world, and you've coached somebody that's done the exact same thing. Funeral plots. Like, oh my gosh, I remember the mortuary guys.
Obscure.
And they called in, and you're like, oh man, I know John, the guy that did this thing, and you know all the different moves and different pieces because you've just been doing this for so long, and you can coach,
anointed.
and you're anointed for it. But you can coach whatever the kind of business is, give them the path to success. And a lot of these guys can go on and make $1 million a year doing what they were already doing that was costing them money before, and now they can make significant income by just following the system that you have.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm telling you, if you're watching today's show, you can do it. Folks, listen, I took algebra 3 times, and I'll tell you how bad it got, okay? This is a true story. Dave, have I ever shared with you about Leif Shaplusky?
Not that I remember.
I haven't heard that
I think
name.
I remember that
It
one.
sounds like a Minnesota name.
This is a true story. I wanted to go to college early because I'm like, I can't do high school. I got to move on. These people are not really operating at a level of functionality that I need. I want to get unpoor quickly. I don't want to go to the party. I don't want to hear about the party. I don't want to be around the people that just got impregnated at the party. I got to move on. I got to go. So I went to my guidance counselor. I'm like, hey, I really want to drop out, if I can, because I don't see a purpose of being here, or go to college early. And he says, well, we have this thing called the post-secondary program. And if you just take all your classes ahead, you load up your schedule, you can graduate early. And so I'm going, yeah. He's like, however, you're doing great. You got A's, and algebra is like, what's happening there? And I go, I can't memorize things, and I have a real hard time learning things that don't matter, like algebra, And he's like, I understand. And I go, he goes, but you have to have a passing grade in algebra, or you just can't do. I go, okay. I got it. I got a plan. So this kid named Leif Shaplusky that I met at the dances I would DJ, because I'm a 16-year-old DJ, and I kind of know everyone at my school because I'm the DJ. If you're the DJ for your school, you're kind of like the low-level celebrity guy. Everyone knows me, okay? So
you're like Ferris Bueller.
DJ Click, you know what I mean? So I'm walking in. And I go, Leif, and Leif at the time was a freshman, and I'm a junior, and I'm like, Leif, my friend, my dear friend, can you, no, that was a lie. Leif was in 8th grade. And I said, Leif, can you come with me to math class and translate? And he goes, oh, yeah. So Miss Gow, my teacher, she's like, well, the Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. She's talking about the theorems and stuff. Yeah. And then Leif would go, time out. What she's saying right now doesn't matter. You just got to memorize this crap. A squared plus b squared. I go, but Leif, why does this matter? He's like, it doesn't matter. You can do it. So he's like my Mick. So I'm bringing this 8th grade kid with me to all my classes, but he wanted to go to the parties. He wanted to go to the big dances. He wanted to be the guy who got in with all the girls. So he's like, bro, will you take me to like the senior thing you're doing, that sorority bash? Will you take my sure 8th grade math friend? And so I gave him the key to all the big parties. And then Leif is in there going, dude, I don't know how you can't memorize this, but you've got to memorize this formula. So that's how I passed. I took it 3 times. It's a real story. And then this is pro tip number 3 here. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Every day? Every day. Every day? Every day. How do you say that? Every day. Every day. People are every day. Only the days you want to suck take off. So think about this. Suck. By the way, if you're selling vacuums, I didn't mean to offend you. If that's what you do, you sell high suction devices like that. But listen, unless you're selling vacuums, you've got to do it every day. And so every day I get here, and Dave, before the employees get here, I always get here, I organize my day. So on my list today, this is what has to happen, guys. I have got to get an agreement between this hangar in Oklahoma City and this organization I'm starting. I have to get that agreement signed or nothing else can happen. And there's all this other stuff flying around, and other speakers have kind of heard about what's happening, and we'll just kind of tease that out there. But some of these big names are talking, and they're like, am I going to get to speak at the thing? Am I in? Are we doing it? Is the band back? Woo! And I'm going, shh, I got to get the agreement. So it's like, and Dave, that has to get done today.
Yeah.
And it has to get done before Dr. Morrow's retirement party, because I'm going to go to this Hawaiian thing at the Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville deal, and I'm going to be very uncomfortable with the whole situation. I'm not really what am I going to do? I don't know. Got to go there, and then I got to go look at these Highland cows. And so, Dave, this has to happen. So it's scheduled.
What's your phrase about bored versus bore down? You got a great phrase on that. That's like something people should lock in.
Profound, and I wish it came to me 10 years earlier. But mediocre people struggle with boredom, and while great people bore down. So mediocre people struggle with boredom while greats bore down. So like
good.
if you listen, there's a song by Mike Posner. He's a hip hop R&B artist, and he wrote a song called Slow It Down. And I'm not saying I agree with all the lyrics, but the purpose of that song was he actually wrote a song and he slowed it down, and he plays it in a way where if you listen to it, you'll go, I promise, I think you'd like it if you listen to it. But if you listen to it, it's like, wow, this is some profound stuff. So another example would be if you listen to lyrics, you guys did a whole show about it. It was profound. You did a show about Imagine.
Yep, we did.
What a great show you guys did. Well, that song was casting a dystopian vision for the Great Reset.
Yep.
And that song is about a godless world. Or Garth Brooks, we were talking offline. Garth Brooks, the song The Dance, I mean, I don't think it's about what people think it's about. So a lot of times we don't listen to the lyrics, but we hear it.
Yeah.
Hopefully that makes sense. We don't listen to the lyrics, but we hear it.
Yep.
And a lot of times we're not really listening to people. So a big part of what I do on my 13-point assessments for anybody who goes to Thrive Time Show and schedules that, you go to thrivetimeshow.com. They're free 13-point assessments. And there's basically 13 data points that help me put together the constellation. So I go, let's look at your accounting. On a scale of 1 to 10, if 10 is you know your numbers and 1 is you don't, how would you rate your accounting? And some people will go, haven't done accounting in a decade. I talked to a guy this weekend, by the way. True story. He hasn't done accounting in a decade. True story. And I'm going, really? And he goes, yeah, it's a weird life, but I'm recently divorced, kind of trying to get it back in the flow. Didn't look at the checkbook for a decade. But you know what? I'm being real. God hasn't given up on him, but he made a series of bad choices. So accounting, I'm like, okay, we need to fix that. I talked to other people. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst, how good are you at marketing? Like, tell me how effective is your current marketing plan? And some people will go, I've got an award-winning product. It's patented, but we never sell anything to anybody ever. And I go, that could be a problem. You see, on a scale of 1 to 10, I was working with a restaurant over 10 years ago. They're still a client, by the way. I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst, how good is your staff? And this person says, my staff is the worst. And the wife says, oh, our staff is truly, truly the worst people I've ever. I wouldn't come to our restaurant because of our staff.
Wow.
And I go, well, who is your staff? They, our kids.
Oh, no.
Like, we got sarcastic kids. They couldn't find jobs. They're in their 30s, so we hired them. And you get in there and you say, "I'm looking for a table of 4. We'll be with you in a minute." And they roll their eyes at customers. And so you figure out what your biggest limiting factor is. Like, what is the biggest limit? What is the biggest limiting factor? What is the biggest limiting factor? That's what I call it, biggest limiting factor. What is the dam blocking the flow? What is the thing that's keeping your success? What's the container that's holding you down, containing your growth? And then you figure out, okay, let's sort the priorities and let's knock out the biggest limiting factors first. Yep. And so back to Andrew, and I use him as an example just because you guys know him and he's done such a great job.
Yep.
Andrew knew everything about technical stuff, Photoshop, video, web, search engine. He knew everything. And we're in a staff meeting, and I said, Andrew, who's LeBron James? I said that to him. I put up a picture first, and I said, who is this? In the meeting. He's like, I don't know who that is.
Dang.
I go, this guy here, you don't know who this is? I don't know. I go, okay.
Wow.
Now we know your biggest limiting factor. He's like, what is it? This is LeBron James. This is the most significant athlete in American modern history. And whether we like him or not, and he's like, I don't understand how that really matters to growing companies. I'm like, well, a lot of our clients, that's the kind of crap that they think about or are aware of. They're mainstream, and you're like the most focused, diligent guy ever. So with Andrew, a lot of what we worked on was just,
relatability.
Relatability with the business owner and teaching certain stories and things so they could connect. But he's the most diligent guy, hard work, funny, kind, all those things. But he needed to learn that skill set of relating to the average client. And by the way, our average clients, they range from age 25 to 65. And there are people that are just stuck. And then if you're 25 and your client's 65 and you know everything about how to grow a company and they don't, that could create some resentment
Sure.
if you don't know how to connect. And so Andrew's become very funny, very witty, very
Yep.
good at connecting, and he's really learned those skills. So for Andrew, it was more of a soft skills, where for me, it was more, learning, wow, I'm growing a DJ company and I'm 20 years old and I've got 30 employees. How do you do that? Or I'm 21 and I've got 40 employees. So I had to learn leadership. I had to learn that pretty quickly. Is how do you lead? How do you lead a group of people? So hopefully that's helpful. But for anybody out there, again, the 3 calls to action. 1, if you go to thrivetimeshow.com, we would love to see you in Anaheim. We'd love to see you in Anaheim, California. We'd love to see you there December 4th and 5th. If you use promo code FLYOVER, promo code FLYOVER, you get a discount. You have a chance to win a backstage pass. 2, if you want to schedule a 13-point assessment, I would encourage you to do that. And 3, probably the biggest ask I have is I'd encourage everyone to believe in yourself and watch those testimonials. Watch those testimonials and picture that as a future you.
Yes.
And that's going to be a lot of fun, and it's free. And I know, Dave, everybody watching the show, they can do it, man.
So good.
No doubt about it.
So good.
Clay, thank you so much for your time. Thank you that you're truly, every Friday, you pour into us, you pour into the listeners, and we are so thankful for that.
I do this just because I want to look at Dave. He's a beautiful man.
He is a beautiful man.
An opportunity. It's like a male model meets business. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks again,
Thanks,
Clay.
Okay, Aaron Antis, guess who's joining us for the December 4th and 5th, 2025 Thrive Time Show Business Growth Workshop? Whoa. Ooh, Santa Claus? No, we will not be joined by Santa Claus, but we will be joined by Eric Trump, the son of the 45th and now 47th President of these United States. And yes, Amanda Grace will be in the place. And yes, Dr. Stella Manuel will be there, so you know it will go well. Yes, we have Mel K in the house. Pastor Phil and Tammy Hotzenpiller will be hosting this event at their beautiful church right there in sunny Anaheim, California. Yes, folks, make this a December to remember.
You surprised?
Make this a December to remember and join us at the 2-day interactive business growth workshops. For over 20 years, folks, I've been hosting business growth workshops where we're going to teach you marketing, sales systems, human resources, accounting, social media marketing, branding, sales training, search engine optimization, accounting, workflow development, financial management, all this and more. How do you get tickets? Go to thrivetimeshow.com. Again, how do you get tickets? Go to thrivetimeshow.com and request tickets today.
Clay Clark is here somewhere. Where's my buddy Clay? Clay's the greatest. I met his goats today. I met his dogs. I met his chickens. I saw his compound. He's like the greatest guy.
I ran from his goats, his chickens, his dogs.
So this guy's like the greatest marketer you've ever seen, right? His entire life, Clay Clark, his entire life is marketing.
4,000% from February to February. Now, I can better that. Okay, Clay, I don't think you know this. I don't think you know this. I'm pinching myself, and if I cry, forgive me. In the last 2.5 days, we have bettered our entire month of February in the last 2.5 days. So, and the phone's blowing up. Everything's just blowing up. You're right. It is like a rocket ship. So we're pinching ourselves, actually.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York, acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
But I recognized at the age of 15, I'm going, you know what? I am not going to live that way. And so I started a company out of my parents' basement called DJconnection.com. And I decided I am going to have success. And so I reached out to millionaires and people that I kind of knew through church and friendships and people that parents of my friends. And I said, what book would you recommend that I read? I'm a 15-year-old asking this question. True story. And I kept being told, you got to read.
Hello, Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Radio Show. It's an exciting time. Also, I think a treacherous time, a spooky time also. But it's always, danger is a good time. Today, my guest is Clay Clark, and I went out with Tom Wheelwright to visit Clay with Eric Trump also. And the reason I want to talk to Clay this morning is a very important subject called study. And the reason I say that is things are changing so fast, and many people are completely missing the show. Things are changing at rapid speed. Technology is changing. And so I went to Tulsa, well, again, with Tom Wheelwright and Eric Trump. And the thing I was so impressed about Clay is this word called study. I don't know, you guys must be in your water or something, Clay, but boy, I was so impressed how big you guys are. But what really impressed me was you have this huge congregation. They're all about guys your age. They're on fire. And you start your classes at 5 in the morning. Now, let me talk to you about study here. We show our books here. Now, this is how I study. You know, this is the creature from Jekyll Island. It's on the Fed. And Clay's doing the same thing. We study. So I go out to Clay's place in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He's built this huge compound out there. And you guys start at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's not by Zoom. They drive there. They show up 5 o'clock, bright-haired, bushy-tailed, and all this. And they're on fire. Your group is on fire. So that's what was on Clay, this technology. You tell your group I was so impressed. Because, like I said, studies became a bad word. I got into fights in my own company because our staff didn't want to study anymore. And I don't know how they cannot do that. So Clay, anyway, welcome to the Rich Dad Radio Show. That's what I want to talk to you about is how do you do it? 5 o'clock in the morning, you have hundreds of people showing up in your huge auditorium on your property to study. Anyway, welcome to the show, Clay. And what turns you on so much? That's what I want to know. Give us a little about your background.
My name is Karime Schofield, and the name of our company is Whistle While You Clean.
I am Sophia Schofield.
We live in Cincinnati, Ohio, and we service the tri-state, so Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana.
We were getting a phone call, and we were like, why is someone calling our business line? That's unusual, and we picked it up, and it was a lead.
I mean, it's been incredible, Clay. We've gone from 0 to like 100% growth. Like we're like a full functioning company. It's great. Like we're blown away at how well we're doing. So working with you guys have really taught us a lot about generating leads and pursuing our Dream 100. So we have a list of customers that we want to market to. And so we've been making phone calls, we've been showing up in person. We're trying to get near the businesses that they would visit if they were visiting like a hair salon or something. And then we start calling them and we just start pursuing them. And then the other thing that we do is when we do cleans, we take a lot of video testimonials and we post those to our website so other customers can see. And then we also upload a lot of images of the things that we do. And so we're also asking our clients for Google reviews after we've cleaned their houses. And so it's this constant like cycle of doing those things over and over and over again. I would say if you're on the fence, go to one of Clay's conferences. They are hilarious. They're fun. They're educational. They're so good that even my teenagers like them. And I would say don't let fear hold you back. If you want to start a business, do the obvious thing and hire someone who knows how to run businesses. If I wanted to get in shape, I'd hire a gym person, a personal trainer. This is like the personal training for business. It has been absolutely amazing. I mean, our coach is encouraging. When he first met with us, he said, do we want him to be like a drill sergeant with us? What level of intensity do we want him to give us? And I will say he is incredibly encouraging all the time. And he just hits the same mark with us every single time. It's very repetitive. But I think we both really learn a lot every time we sit down and have a conversation with him over the phone. He keeps pushing us to go further, and he can recognize when we're afraid to do something and he'll give us a little bit of grace, but that next week he's drilling us again, like pushing us to go harder. Our no-brainer offer is we are offering your first clean for $1. And that sounds absolutely insane. It even sounded insane when I was talking over it with our business coach. And I will tell you that has generated some of our hugest clients. I mean, that has been like a game changer because it opened up the door to more clients, more recommendations, more leads. And we were surprised how far that Dollar Clean got us.
How important has it been for you to work out that scripting, even though you offer $1 for the first clean? How important has it been for you to nail that down?
It's been really important because it kind of it hones in so that you're not just all over the place when you're trying to explain what it is that you do. And a lot of times it's like you're a good person offering a good product and you have integrity and you want to communicate that. But when you go to communicate without a script or without practice, it's just like a mess coming out of your mouth, as opposed to having this, honed in practice where you know what you're going to say, you know how you're going to say it, and you can almost expect better results when you do it that way.
Had you ever been an entrepreneur before starting this particular business?
No, never.
Did you ever think about wanting to own your own business someday? Or what was the first time you thought, maybe I would like to open my own business?
Absolutely. I've probably been dreaming about it for about 10 years.
Okay, and let me go to your daughter here. Had you ever thought about wanting to team up and open your own business, or was that something that you were maybe excited about, or not so much?
Well, for me, my parents would always listen to your podcast and business podcast. And as I started listening to them, I started realizing that I wanted to own a business.
It's www.whistlewhileyouclean.com. Honestly, the hardest thing was getting over the fear. It was the fear of the unknown. There was like a cloud of doubt that, you can't do this, you're gonna fail. There was a few sleepless nights there when we did pull the trigger and join your team and start the coaching process. Even my husband put a little bit of pressure on me from time to time because it was just absolutely scary to take that jump and actually start a business.
Whoa.